You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WMDX Daily News Roundup for Mad Radio 92.7 FM and 1580 AM in Madison.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. Republicans in Congress are working on budget plans that could cut funding to Medicaid, which would impact health care for millions of disabled and low-income Americans. In the House, lawmakers passed a budget resolution instructing the Energy and Commerce Committee to cut $880 billion from the budget over the next 9 years. Experts say those cuts are impossible without slashing funding to Medicaid. The state federal program provides coverage for 18% of Wisconsinites. That's 1.2 million people here. That includes 1 in 3 Wisconsin kids and 4 in 7 nursing home residents across the state. Liz Williams, Senior Policy Analyst for Kaiser Family Foundation.
Medicaid is jointly funded by states and the federal government, so any restrictions in federal Medicaid spending really leave states with tough choices about how to offset reductions.
Williams says states only have a couple options, including increasing state tax revenues, decreasing spending on non-Medicaid services like education, or decreasing coverage for other groups. Republicans are targeting these programs for lower funding in order to pay for Donald Trump's tax cuts from 2017. They're set to expire. According to the Center on Policy and Budget Priorities, nearly half that money would go toward the top 5% of Americans with the most wealth. Republicans' tax cuts under this plan would cost $4.5 trillion. Meanwhile, tonight, the Madison Office of Civil Rights is hosting a meeting called What We Could Lose, which will outline how Medicaid cuts could impact people here. Organizers say the goal is to inform people about what's on the table and give them a chance to ask questions. Disability rights advocates will speak, and Senator Tammy Baldwin will be there. That meeting is tonight at 6 at the Madison Municipal Building. It'll also be streamed online. And Madison police have arrested the woman they say attacked a bus driver, causing them to crash into a restaurant last week. It happened last Tuesday night. Police said the bus was near Stoughton Road at the time. According to police documents, a 26-year-old woman named Raven Johnson was upset that the Metro Transit bus wasn't going where she wanted. That's when she attacked the driver, who lost control and crashed into the Asian House restaurant on Dempsey Road. 2 people were hurt, and one of them was taken to the hospital. She's tentatively charged with disorderly conduct, battery to a public transit operator, and recklessly endangering safety. And so far, we here in Wisconsin haven't seen the harshest effects of the bird flu. But after bans on dairy cows at livestock shows and spread among poultry flocks, now we're joining a multi-state effort to test for bird flu in dairy cows. With more, here's Stuart J. Waddles.
Cows will soon start to get tested for bird flu. Wisconsin is set to begin testing its dairy cows for bird flu as part of the USDA's national milk testing strategy. The state joins a nationwide surveillance effort that already includes 45 states.
Funding for this testing, as well as potential vaccination of poultry flocks, is still up in the air as the Trump administration continues to cut federal government services. And the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra has announced the lineup for a Madison Summer Classic. Every year they host concerts on the square, a free series so beloved as many as 50,000 people attend. This summer's events will include more Motown and even a Pink Floyd tribute. They're also adding 5 new food trucks. The first show is June 25th on the square. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. You're listening to 92.7 WMDX News.
The Bucks with a win in Atlanta. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks beat the Hawks 127-121. Atlanta had the lead midway through the game. Doc Rivers asked about what he didn't like about the Bucks defense in the first half.
I just thought they got in transition early. They made 2 or 3 threes off our missed layups. So second half, I thought we were way better. First half, I didn't think. We showed a video at halftime where first 3 steps we were jogging, they were running by us. Second half, we didn't do that, and we took that away from them.
College hoops. It's the Badgers at Minnesota tonight in the border battle. Marquette on the road at UConn. The Packers re-signing their free agents. First, it was linebacker Isaiah McDuffie. Now, kicker Brandon McManus gets a 3-year deal worth $15 million, $5 million guaranteed.
I'm happy that it's in the past now. I was hoping and working hard for another opportunity. I'm extremely grateful for the Green Bay Packers for giving me that next chance to come back out here and play the game I love.
That's kicker Brandon McManus with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Anora was the big story at the Oscars this year, and if you haven't seen it yet in theaters or on pay-per-view, you'll soon have an opportunity to stream it. Anora was nominated for 6 Oscars and won 5. The film also made history as director Sean Baker tied the record for winning the most Oscars in one night by one person. He's in pretty good company, too. The record was held exclusively by Walt Disney until Sunday night. If you want to see what all the fuss is about, check out Anora on Hulu March 17th. In case you haven't heard, word has gotten out that Adrian Brody's partner that he mentioned in his lengthy acceptance speech, which I believe is still going on.
There's so many people to thank. I will really try and be as brief as possible.
I thought so. Brody also mentioned Georgina's 2 teenage children that she had with Weinstein. Weinstein is serving a 23-year prison sentence for rape and sexual assault, really hoping the kids got the mother's genes and talk less than Brody. Kieran Culkin is now an Oscar winner, having won the award for Best Supporting Actor last Sunday night. However, if Culkin had his way, someone else would have won. Just 2 weeks before the film written by Jesse Eisenberg was to start shooting, Culkin said he almost quit because the last season of Succession went on longer than anticipated, and he wanted to spend time with his family. Culkin also won the Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Award for his performance. Being a good dad only goes so far. Speaking of the Culkins, Kieran Culkin has come a long way from playing Fuller McAllister in Home Alone alongside his brother Macaulay. Macaulay attended after-parties with his wife Brenda and said he knew his younger brother was going to win because of where they sat him in proximity to the stage. The older Culkin was asked if he would see his brother later that night, and his response was, "I'm not sure. He's a busy guy." He's now Academy Award-winning actor Kieran Culkin. A complete unknown drew a complete goose egg at the Oscars despite 8 Academy Award nominations. To make matters worse, according to The Hollywood Reporter, the subject of the Bob Dylan biopic, also known as Bob Dylan, was invited to both present and perform at the ceremony, but declined on both fronts. Mick Jagger ended up presenting in his place. At the beginning of the show, host Conan O'Brien joked that Timothée Chalamet learned how to sing so well in preparation for playing Bob Dylan, he almost didn't get the role. Tabloids love their clickbait. After finding out that Mikey Madison won the Oscar for Best Actress as Anora, tabloids made a big stink that Demi Moore gritted her teeth and seemed upset. A closer look at the situation by a lip reader revealed Moore turned to the person next to her and said, "Nice." One clickbait tabloid in particular said later in its article that Moore was very happy for Madison. Now that's journalism. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We have some rain now, but that will change to snow by later this morning into early afternoon with about an inch of accumulation possible. On top of that, it's going to be very windy. 35 to 45 mile per hour gusts will create blowing snow this afternoon into this evening. Conditions will gradually improve late tonight. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Current temp now 37.
That's your WMDX Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at mad.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.